What is up, everybody? Coach Chad here. I hope you guys are doing amazing. I was sitting down and I was like, all right, getting ready to record a podcast. And I noticed that I have my 10X jersey on again. And I was like, damn, these people must think I just wear this thing all the time, which if I'm being honest, I do wear it a lot, but I definitely don't wear it every single day. And every time I put it back on, it is freshly washed. I don't know. I just like it. I just get excited. It's like my work attire. So don't judge me if you guys are watching this on video. Also, if you guys are watching this on video, I was talking with Caitlin the other day and I was like, we need to pimp out our office. I want one of those like neon lights with, NLCA on it, maybe some like fake. When you go to a restaurant and sometimes you see those neon lights with like a little logo or the restaurant name and it's like built into like a fake grass wall. I would love to have that behind me. So you guys might see in the next couple weeks a much cooler setup for the podcast. And one more thing I'll say before we dive into today's topic is I want an intro. Like I want like a consistent intro. Like when you tune in on people's podcasts, there's some music, there's like a consistent intro. What I would love your guys' help with is some songs, right? Obviously, I can't play like mainstream songs or well-known songs, but I could play remixes of well-known songs. So if you guys can slide in my DMs and shoot me some really cool remixes, that would be of major help. So anyways, let's dive into today's topic. And if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Coach Chad, CEO of the Next Level Coaching Academy, CEO of Chad Molyneux Fitness, which I don't mention much on this podcast, but I'll start mentioning, and then also creator of the Fit CEO podcast by Chad Molyneux. So what we're going to be talking about today, guys, I know I did a whole entire module, or not module, sorry, I'm thinking about the course. I know I did a whole entire podcast called Pricing 101, where I broke down what you should be delivering. And I also broke down the prices per what you're delivering as well. What I failed to mention in there is I failed to talk about the mindset of increasing your prices. And when I look at the NLCA students, they understand, they need to increase price, but it's hard for them to get over that hump of increasing their price, right? It's more of a mindset barrier than it is an actual, lack of knowledge or lack of understanding on why you should increase your prices. So what I'm going to go over today is I am going to talk about how to increase your prices, but I'm going to talk about it from a mindset perspective. And I want to kick it off by saying this, right? A lot of people say, I don't feel like I deserve to get paid that much. And I was thinking about that question or that statement today. And I was like, that's a very interesting statement. And I was thinking about how interns, and more specifically, I was thinking about my brother. So my brother is a junior at Rochester Institute of Technology. He's studying engineering, and it's a 5-year program. And I want to say every other year, he needs to do like a full semester of an internship. And I was talking to him and I was like, are you getting paid for this internship? And he was like, yeah, I'm actually getting $26 an hour. And I was like, what the heck? Like, you're an intern, right? And you're getting $26 an hour as an intern. Like, you're not even a W-2 employee. Like you're an intern and you're getting $26 an hour. And when I was thinking about this and I was thinking about the statement on people saying they don't deserve to get paid, think about all the professions that get paid right outside of college, right? They get hired or they graduate and they get hired and they get paid. There's no grace period. There's no free, like, hey, you're going to work for free for 6 months, right? Like a lot of coaches will say, oh, I'm just going to continue to take on free clients until I deserve, like I feel like I should be paid, right? Well, that doesn't happen in the real world, right? The real world, you get paid for the value that you're providing in the workplace. It's that simple. And I even thought about this. There are people that are unemployed that are getting paid by the government. There are people that literally don't have a job that are getting paid. So like when you think about these two, right? Interns get paid and people that are unemployed get paid by the government. I hope this puts into perspective that you do deserve to get paid. You are putting a high value product into the marketplace. You deserve to get paid for that. You are helping people, actually really helping people, and you deserve to get paid for that. Okay. So I have 4 specific reasons that you should be increasing your prices. And I will say this also before I get into those four reasons. I'm not going to solve this issue for you. The purpose of this podcast is I hope I can shed some light on the issue. I hope I can inspire you to make the change. But at the end of the day, you need to decide that you are worth more than what you are charging. I cannot decide that for you. I can inspire you, but you need to make that decision for yourself. So with that said, let's get into it. All right. Reason number one that you should increase your prices. It's going to increase the client success. I promise you this. I promise you this. I can use my fitness business as an example. I can also use NLCA as an example. Let's use NLCA as an example. So in NLCA, we have multiple different tiers, right? We sell a course as a standalone. We sell a course plus coaching. And what I've noticed is the individuals that purchase the course typically have smaller payments. They typically get declined on their payments a lot. And they also typically don't get as good of results as those that truly invest. Those that truly invest and they pay the premium price for the course plus the coaching get better results, are way happier. And it's funny enough, their payments don't decline either. Like they follow through on their commitments. And there's something to be said with a correlation between paying more in getting a better client and getting a client better results as well, right? Because in Grant Cardone, funny enough, I'm wearing his t-shirt, right? Grant Cardone says this: a true commitment requires time and it requires money as well. Think about the last time you purchased something on Amazon, right? Or think about the last time that you purchased something where it wasn't really a scary purchase, right? It didn't mean a lot. It wasn't a lot of money. It wasn't breaking the bank. You just got it. So think about that product or that service in your head. Now think about what you do with that product. Are you continuing to use it? Do you even know where it is? Maybe it's stuffed away in the closet, right? Maybe you can't even think of one because that's how invaluable it is to you, right? There is something to be said on the money that we pay and the way that we view it in our mind. If we pay something that is insignificant or that doesn't break the bank or that doesn't scare us, we are going to treat it as such more times than not. And the same thing is true to be said when a fitness client is purchasing a fitness program, right? All of those cleanses out there, all of those quick fix programs are really cheap. And guess what? They don't get results. But all of the one-to-one coaching with a lot of accountability and a lot of customizing that cost more, they get results. So think about that. The more you charge, yes, obviously it's a benefit to your business. Yes, obviously it's a benefit to you, but it's also a benefit to the client because they are putting their money where their mouth is. They're saying, I am making this commitment. This is how much this commitment means to me. I'm going to follow through, take my money. That's what that exchange means. So that's reason number one. If you care about the client, you will charge them more. Number two, it is going to force you to over deliver, right? I'm going to try to say this as PC as possible, but think about a client that has been a burden to you, right? More specifically, a client that doesn't pay you what you're worth, right? Doesn't pay you what you're worth, and more times than not, they're probably a burden to you, right? You're not going to over deliver to that person, right? Maybe they're paying you $100, $200 a month, $150 a month. Maybe they're paying you less. Maybe they're paying you $75 a month. But this client always seems to be the one that asks 1,000 questions, doesn't respect your time, also complains a lot about the program and gives you the most stress. And they also happen to be the one that's paying you the least as well. You're not going to over deliver that for that person, right? You're not going to go above and beyond for that person and make sure that they truly get results. But if they were paying $300 a month, $400 a month, $500 a month, you are going to go above and beyond for that client because you are getting paid what you're worth. Now, not saying this is true for all coaches, right? There's a lot of coaches out there that will continue to go above and beyond for clients, even if it's free, right? But I'm telling you, even those coaches that would do that, even those really good coaches that would do it for free and still over deliver, if you got paid $400 a month for that person, I bet you that you would even up level your game even more. So not only does charging more make the client show up more, but charging more makes the coach show up more too. And if the coach is going to show up more and the client is going to show up more, then you guys are a powerhouse team on the same mission, on the same goal of getting the job done. That's point number 2. Point number 3, this is more business savvy, but if you want to scale, if you have any dreams or aspirations of having assistant coaches, of having staff members, of having employees, of hosting retreats, of making a big brand, of making a massive impact, of having hundreds of clients, you are going to need money. You are going to need money to scale. What are you going to need money to scale for? You're going to need to reinvest in advertising. And advertising isn't cheap. Thousands of dollars a month. You're going to need to invest in employees. Employees aren't cheap. Thousands and thousands of dollars a month. In NLCA, we spent $54,000 last month on contractors. Put that in perspective. It costs money to do business. And if you are charging $100 a month, $200 a month, you will not have the margins necessary. Margins mean what is left, profit minus expenses. What is the difference? What is left? You are not going to have enough extra money left over to reinvest back into the business. So if your long-term goal is to grow, scale, hire, reinvest into the business, build a big, awesome brand that leaves a massive impact, you will need money to do that, which will require you to charge more, right? And not to get too in depth, I can get really in depth on this and break down margins, and maybe I'll just do a whole nother podcast on that. But long story short, margins are what the client is paying you minus the expenses or cost of acquiring that client, right? So you'll have to spend a certain amount in advertising. You'll have to spend a certain amount for staff, right? For salespeople, for VA work, for assistant coach work. All of that is worked into the price that the client is paying, right? So if a client pays you $400 in a month, right, and the expenses for that client are $200 a month, then you're at a 50% profit, right? You have $200 left over to reinvest back in the business. Ideally, really, because we are an online business and because we don't have a lot of overhead, ideally you want to be above 50%. If you're above 50%, you're in a really good spot. If you're at 70%, you're at a really, really good spot. 70% is the sweet spot. Obviously, if you can get higher, that's great. But the more you grow, your margins naturally will go down a little bit. All right. But point number 3 is if you want to scale, you're going to need cash to do it. And if you're undercharging, it's going to be next to impossible for you to scale or have enough money in order to scale appropriately. Okay. And then the last point, and I call this the win-win-win. my staff in NLCA loves The Office. And I think this is an Office reference. I'm not a big TV guy. I don't know if you guys have seen on my story, but there's plants in front of our TV. Our TV isn't even plugged in. We view TVs as like a decorative piece at this point and not actually something that we use. But I've heard that win-win-win is a Office joke. So for you Office people out there, maybe you can relate. But my last point number here, or my number 4 point here, is that win-win-win, right? Charging more is going to make you feel more confident. It's going to make you feel more happy, and it's going to drive client results, right? So here's the win-win-win. It's a win for you because you're confident. You feel good about your coaching ability. You feel good about what you're charging. You feel good about what you're making, right? You just feel overall good. You feel overall happy. You're like, damn, I'm really doing it. Like I'm charging what I'm worth. My clients are happy. I'm happy, right? So it's a win for you. It's a win for the client. It's a win for the client in multiple different aspects, right? The client loves that you're happy. The client loves the results that they're getting because you're over delivering to that client. And the client loves the results they're getting because they made a commitment financially and with their time that actually makes them feel like they have to, like the commitment actually motivates them, right? That's the goal. You want to charge a price that motivates the individual. And if it doesn't make them a little scared, it's not going to motivate them, right? So it's a win for the client from that perspective where they're getting awesome results. They see you're happy, you're over delivering. So it's a win for the client. And then lastly, it's a win for the business. I like to view the business, right? So I view the Next Level Coaching Academy as its own separate entity. It's separate from me, it's separate from the staff, it's separate from the clients, right? So if we're looking at it from that perspective, as the business is its own separate thing, it is going to be happy when it is fed. And what I mean by that is it is going to be happy if there is a really good margins per client, right? It's going to like that additional margin so that we can reinvest back into the business and grow the business. So from that perspective, charging more makes it a win-win-win. Win for you, win for the client, and win for the business. So, like I said, I am not going to be the one that changes this for you. I am not going to be the one that says you have to do this. This is going to come down to you. This is going to come down to you to make a decision to say, I need to do this. Yes, for me, but not just for me. It goes far beyond you, for the clients, for the overall business, and for the overall mission. And with that, I will end this podcast. If you guys enjoyed this, as always, please screenshot it up, share it on your IG story. Don't forget to tag me. That's what motivates me. I love when you guys share these things. It gets me excited, gets me motivated. It lets me know who's listening, and I really appreciate that. But guys, till next time, peace.